nigga in this game flowing and think he can see me, gotta be.
Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome mats. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white figures. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Now, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm alright, nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code MACECAM or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mace and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
Murder, what's good? How you?
Chilling, man.
Everything good. They were talking about how T.O. was cooking you yesterday. That's what they.
Man.
I'm just telling you what the internet said, bro. I was kind of perturbed about reading the comments. Actually, I'm like, niggas ain't gonna play my brother like
Cooking who, Killer?
I'm just telling you what it said.
I was letting the nigga talk, you know.
I
try to take the high road with the nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. What's going on? First of all, look, I sent it some attention, but it was all phone attention. Then when I see the every day, niggas said, he was a big mama looking on murder this morning. I don't know how someone murder. I see.
You know, I had to let the nigga slide, you know what I'm saying? It's over with the next I'm trying to chill out here. I'm trying to bring me back to the home.
Listen, I know you're trying to get back to some specific about these days, but I'm going over the comment.
I'm just, y'all cut that out. I'm over here 18 times last. Can't be arguing with niggas dressed like a knight. You know my man, you try to make me crucify T.O.
Nick, what the comments crazy? Nick, he was like, yo, you want me to edit some of this? He said, yo, you like keep murdering, you want to edit some of this? I'm just telling you what happened.
Oh my God, you know, he said he ain't remember everything goes.
I ain't like when he was telling like, this thing you got glasses. Let's honor
Look at the jump T.O. That nigga too strong.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let him talk. And here we go, man. You see people peeking in the door. I see niggas peeking in the door. I'm like, you know, he good.
I can't do that yet.
Nah, shout out to T.O. T.O. family. Y'all trying to get me back in the algorithm. Trying to make me a TikTok. Nah, but for real, niggas was looking in the window like, yo, we good? You rocking. Do that.
You know, you kind of weak in the feeling TikTok stuff.
Yes.
You kind of feeling TikToks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, oh yeah.
And that's what the TikTok want me to say. They was niggas at the window and get them. That's why I was being quiet. Because if I raised my energy and
then everybody else the human out the room. The shit ain't online.
That's my guy, you know. Shout out to
what's
Tia.
crazy? You know what's crazy? Shout out to Tia. The crazy shit is stat face. Y'all gotta get stat face sometime because it's stat like damn. I gotta pick a ball
And she gonna talk about
Y'all are funny.
She like, I gotta see T.O. again and pickleball and shit. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, those guys are crazy. That's why you should get stat face sometime when you talk to niggas. Stuff like that. I gotta see it. It's all good, T.O. So I'm
Okay, so we're actually gonna start with NBA today because we talked a lot of football. There's a lot going on in basketball. So let's actually start with this year.
People are saying we're basketball, but we've been so entrenched in football, Trent Martin in football. They're like, yo, you already know Simmons, every team down, everybody who's doing good. Houston, you don't want to talk about Houston now.
Yeah, y'all don't want to talk about basketball.
Yeah, so we apologize. It's been a really big football season. Mason's team actually made it to the Super Bowl. Mike Irvin's been excited on the radio. Pittsburgh, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So
the Pittsburgh debacle.
yeah, so
we had to let niggas get this.
yeah, but we in the Super Bowl not for another couple of weeks, and it's only one of the days like the football season. We're gonna get deep into our basketball.
Basketball crazy.
Okay, so let's actually start with the best records in the NBA right now. So we're gonna start with the East. The first seed is the Cavs, then the Celtics, then the Knicks. Just looking at those first three teams, Mace, what are your thoughts on the order?
I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I thought Boston would be number one, but other than that, I'm not surprised with the Cavs. Donovan got his money, so now he's balling. They switched the coach out. That's another plus. And, shout out to Ohio, man. We in the house. I don't know how fans feel about that, but Ohio in the house. Ohio State.
Ohio State's not in Cleveland. It's in Columbus, which is about an hour and a half away, hour 15-minute drive.
I knew you would shoot me down.
Oh, it's fine.
I knew you would shoot me down.
No, I'm just saying because you put my name in it. Once you say my name, I was just going to let you fuck out. So y'all not scared about it. I'm gonna actually say I'm very, very much shocked. I did not Cleveland leading the East, let alone being in the top three. To be totally honest with you, and that's where we get caught up with names. I'm talking about it's not Mace, or it's that just us as fans. When you sit there and see what Philadelphia is doing, when they paid Tyrese Maxey, they bring Paul George, Joel Embiid is coming up for MVP season. You're like, okay, this could possibly be the big three. I'm thinking that Philly would be top three. Boston would be number one, which I was assuming. I'm not sure who I would have had third out of the Knicks or the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, we have all this thing with the Bucks where they're saying, Dame Lillard saying it ain't going to be the same as Dame Lillard from last year. Chris Middleton's healthy. Bobby Portis is there. Lopez is there. Greek Freak's available. And Milwaukee's getting back to where they were, but they started off the season terrible. They won the NBA Cup right now. They're carrying them on. But if you're telling me that the team has gotten more to do, they put one of the championships. Mace made a great point. Some people get their money and they don't give a fuck. It looks like Richard gave his money every year. Those guys are really, really good over there. And for them to be in single season, I'm shocked.
I just bought a stick New York Knicks jacket, so I will be wearing that jacket. My Sun City and all of New York fans. We're not gonna get quiet now with New York, in third place. I didn't expect them to be in third place. I thought it would be actually I thought it would be Boston. I thought it would be Philadelphia, and I thought it would be the Knicks. So shout out to the Knicks, shout out to West, Worldwide West. Shout out to everybody doing their thing up there in New York that's doing a great job with the New York Knicks.
Okay, so now let's actually look at the West. So first is the Thunder, then the Rockets, then the Grizzlies. Mace, what do you think about this one? Is this what you
Thunder,
expected?
the Rockets, then the Grizzlies.
Yes.
Shout out to Ja, you know what I'm saying? Since we giving shout out to the new Iverson. This is the new Iverson.
Same.
I don't care how Sin City feel about it. Ja is the new Iverson. Mix pause with Derrick Rose 2.0. This is D-Rose before D-Rose got hurt. You know, if D-Rose would have continued with him, the Giants just looking like he took the guns up.
I have no faith for that.
He's coming out with all guns blazing. I feel like doing this, what's that, the Gilbert Arenas thing. Yeah. I'm
Ja,
so
put
happy,
your guns
Ja.
down. We'll put them up for you.
Yeah, we'll
nigga.
put them up for you, Ja. Don't let me see you with no guns. We'll do all the shooting for you. Pause. And when you think of OKC, I knew OKC was gonna be there. I'm ready for
Risky
OKC to win the
choice.
championship. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready for OKC to win. They got impeccable backcourt play and front court play. They definitely need to win this year. And who else you said? The Rockets?
Yeah.
The Rockets is another team that's doing a phenomenal job. I wouldn't be surprised if they're right there in that West Coast Finals, because the way Van Fleet is looking, you know, pause, along with the other guards, the wing players impeccable, and to win a championship, you gotta have great wings. A lot of times people say point guard play in the center, but every time somebody won, they had great wing play. I'm looking forward to Houston doing a really good job. Shout out to the coach, you know, he was here within 1 year, 2 years. Second year, he said, you know what, I'm going to turn this around. James Harden was about to come through. He said, nah, we'll talk about that another time. Shout out to James Harden. He knew he needed young players that will listen to him. You know what I'm saying? No slight at James, but sometimes when you're trying to do something new, you need young people that are buying into the system. And it seemed like everybody in Houston is bought into the system. Even the security, the popcorn stand, even the ladies have bought into the Houston Rockets. So it's a good day out there in Houston.
Yeah, to answer your question, Stat, yes, this is another shocker for me. Absolutely. I'm absolutely shocked that this is the top three. Not really the top three. I'm more shocked at Houston. OKC finished number one last year.
Yeah.
For them to be in first place, though, without Chet, and Chet been injured this long. They've been in first place when Chet got hurt. Chet been out about maybe 2.5 months now. And for them to sustain the number one spot without him is an attribute to their whole team. Of course, we see Shea leading the way, but the supporting cast is phenomenal. And then when they get Chet back, it looks like it's going to be a runaway, for at least for the top seed in the West. But Houston is the team that actually shocks me, being in the top three. The mixture of veterans and young players that they have on the team is a perfect combination. Mace brought it up how the coach, I always don't say it from
Udoka, Ime, Udoka.
Udoka. Okay.
Man, Udoka.
Okay, Udoka.
Udoka.
Yeah, Udoka, like Mace said, James Harden wanted to come back. He actually told him, nah, this is not the place for you. And I'm saying it how I say. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that blunt or flagrant. But at the end of the day, he understood the assignment, what he wanted to do. He wanted to get back to where his coaching career was at, even with another franchise.
Hello.
You got to realize this makes him look spectacular as a basketball mind, not just as a coach, as a basketball mind. You have a team that you took to the NBA Finals. You get kicked out the organization for reasons that aren't basketball related. You get the head coaching job in Houston. You're a game or two out from making the play-in last year. And this year you stepped it all the way up. They actually just went into Boston and beat Boston. You know what kind of feeling that was for you, Doka? Here, my young boys kicked y'all ass. Y'all kicked me out of there, they have my back, and they kicked y'all ass probably 3-4 days ago. They just went into Boston, the Houston Rockets, and beat Boston. So for them to be in second place, I'm absolutely shocked, and congratulations to the job and the players of what they're doing down there. I know we make a lot of, it ain't really jokes, but we state facts and then people think it's jokes, to where we were even making jokes about, I don't want to use jokes. We were making statements about Jalen Green being with Drea. Look, if that's what the fuck it takes to get to this nigga to play like this, and whatever it takes, that he's playing phenomenal. I'm not saying he wasn't playing phenomenal before that, but we tend to make those topics the headline instead of people's game, and I'm not going to do that today because he's playing phenomenal. So shout out to them as a couple, because whatever the fuck's going on, he's playing fucking great. The number 3 seed, no, I'm not shocked at all. I actually made a bet with Sin City that the Grizzlies would come in top 4 when the season's over. There's still a lot of basketball left to be played, but he was telling me that there's no way that the Grizzlies are going to finish in the top 4 in the Western Conference. And I said they will, because he didn't think that one person could turn the team around. Bane was there. The whole team was there last year without Ja, and they did terribly, real bad, to where they didn't make the playoffs or anything, terribly. But that's how much one player can make a difference. It isn't just his play. It's his attitude. It's his leadership. It's his aura to make the other players bring out their maximum potential. So I'm not shocked that they're at number 3, but would I think they're number 3? No, I would probably think Denver would be number 3 right now, which is Denver's number 4. But I did think that Memphis would finish in the top 4 before the year's over. Like I said, me and Sin City have a bet. We have some time left to see what happens. But yeah, as far as the Western Conference is concerned, we got to think about this. Right now, let's name some notable. Let's finish off naming out the top 6 right now. We got Memphis 3, Denver 4. The Lakers are number 5, and the Clippers are actually number 6. I want to give a shout out to Tyronn Lue, because Tyronn Lue is a phenomenal coach. We all know that. But not knowing when you're going to have Kawhi available, who's your superstar, that has to be problematic, but he doesn't make it problematic. He figures it out. What he did was activate Houston Rockets James Harden. James Harden is looking like the Houston Rockets James Harden and acting crazy out there. He's not looking like the guy who was deferring the pass in Brooklyn or possibly in Philadelphia. He's looking like niggas forgot, lullabying niggas to sleep, pause, going to the basket, 3-point, and he's looking really, really good, because I remember when he's at these other stops trying to win a championship, there's like, has James Harden lost a step or two? Yeah, he's getting older. He lost a step or two. Now he's trying to win a championship. He still got that bag, and don't reach and don't jump, because he looks like he's James Harden in Houston. So shout out to the Clippers and Tyronn Lue as well. Minnesota, 7th place. This is a team that were in the Western Conference Finals last year. It doesn't look like the trade worked out as good for them as it did for the Knicks. Phoenix, KD was out for a certain amount of time. You don't know what's going on in everybody's psyche, because they're talking about possibly trading Bradley Beal for the last month or two to where even they brought him off the bench. It looked like he's productive off the bench. But he's one of the only two players in the NBA with a no trade clause. So even if Phoenix wants to trade him, he has to approve the trade. We'll see how that works out, but they're currently in 8th place. We got Dallas right now that's in 9th place. They're Western Conference Finals champions. Golden State right now is in 11th place. They're not even in the play-in. We don't know the lineup there because Draymond has been hurt lately. Looks like they're not cohesive. And we'll see what happens. You know, Steph Curry gives 120% every time he's on the floor, but it doesn't look good for Golden State right now. It looked good early in the season. They're, Buddy Hield's there, and shit ain't working out. We'll see what happens. But as far as the top three, I'm very much shocked for Eastern Conference and the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And I want to say something before we get out of this segment. Ja Morant might be a part of that Kobe lineage. He might actually be one of those players who actually had something catastrophic happens, and then he turns his whole career around and still have a phenomenal career. And I just wanted to say that because I know last year when things happened, everybody was like, he's going to go into this B list or C list type of player or from marketability. But Ja, if you're listening to this, you have the ability to actually turn it all around and still do what Kobe did after he went to court and all of those things. He was still able to have a phenomenal brand.
Yeah. And then just real quick, as far as the Grizzlies, I think we also need to give a lot of credit to Jaren Jackson Jr. because he's been very consistent and has been playing phenomenal. Obviously, the Grizzlies were starting off very well, but they snapped their 6-game winning streak because in their game versus the Knicks, they had 26 turnovers. That's just something that can't happen if they want to be able to remain on top. We're seeing how the Knicks are, getting their little spiel back. We can give them their praise, but like for the Grizzlies to stay on top, can't be making mistakes like that. And then just real quick regarding the Rockets, because we didn't talk about Amen Thompson's game winner versus the Celtics, which is something that a lot of people didn't expect because I feel like over time, a lot of the players on the Rockets were being overlooked, especially the younger players. But he's been playing good. Dylan Brooks has been playing good. Even their center, Sengun, he's been averaging a double-double. So the Rockets just have a really good core, and I feel like they have a lot to prove, given the situation with Ime Udoka, and then given the players, and like we talked about Jalen Green and Drea, a lot of people felt like they weren't going to actually be able to perform. So the fact that they've proven a lot of us wrong, shout out to them. Will they remain on top? We'll see, but it seems like they kind of have the ingredients to stick to where they're at right now.
Now, you was giving shout out to Jared Jackson Jr.?
Yeah. The
Why
real
not?
Triple J.
Yeah, you
That's
know
what
I'm
you
about.
told me. The real Triple J.
The real Triple J.
Yeah.
And how about Scottie Pippen Jr.?
Yeah.
You put some respect on Scottie Pippen Jr., He out there balling, and every time him and Jai's on a break, it just seemed like they're on must-see TV.
Yeah, for sure. And then also, you can go.
What I was going to say is this, actually. Scottie Pippen Jr., definitely a shout-out. But Jaren Jackson Jr. and anybody who was on that roster last year gets no shout-outs from me because y'all had an opportunity to show me that y'all was like that when Ja wasn't there. And nobody showed me that they was like that without Ja. Everybody was there except for Ja, and y'all were terrible. Ja makes all of y'all better. And not saying that y'all aren't good when he's there, but he had an opportunity last year to be like, I know we need Ja, but if we going to be all right, all them niggas had an opportunity to be like, don't worry about it. We gonna be. They was not all right. They was not all right. What was their record last year when you get a chance stat to let us know what their record was?
It was horrible.
Yeah, because all them niggas was there. It just goes to show how one nigga could bring the energy or the attitude or the camaraderie there to bring everybody, elevates everybody's game. Because you're right. I think defensive player, most blocks a couple years ago when Ja was there, he's an absolute great talent. But you ain't like that without somebody else.
Yeah, last year they were 27-55 in the 13th seed, so it's a huge.
I shout none of them niggas.
Yeah, I think the person that we're forgetting, that Stat is forgetting about, is Edie.
Yeah.
Edie is the difference on that team.
Yeah.
Well, we got to think about this too, Murder. A few years ago, these guys were in the Western Conference Final, and they were leading Golden State before Ja got injured.
Yeah.
and Poole grabbed his knee and he was out for the series. Not saying they would have won, but that's the year Golden State went on to win a championship. So even though he got hurt, he was 2 games away from a championship, and what knows what could have happened. Then everything else still happened, the injuries, the guns, and the suspensions and everything else. So I think Ja is like that. Edie, and Edie's a different, I totally agree with you. That's a plus. But Ja just brings something to that team that's great and phenomenal, man. And yes, Edie, you've been balling out to Murder's point. Definitely looking good as a rookie, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at the bottom of the list. On the East, it's the Nets, the Hornets, then the Wizards. Are you shocked by any of the teams at the bottom?
When you talk about being shocked with what's going on in the East at the bottom of the Eastern Conference is just 2 of those teams I thought would be there. The Nets I thought would be there, especially after they traded and they let go Dennis Schroeder. Is that how you say his last name? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was playing really well down there. And then what's the other team? The Wizards. I totally expected them to be at the bottom of the East, but I did not expect the Charlotte Hornets to be there. I thought Charlotte would have a breakout year. If I was even to give my expertise, I thought they had every piece necessary to turn this team around. Even when you see Melo getting 40, Melo getting 50, 30 and 10 assists and 11 assists, and now he got other wing players. But I think the real issue with that team is they're undecided of are they going to go forward with Miles Bridges or are they going to stick with the other young wing players? And I think that's what's causing them what they're seeing, and they don't really want to acknowledge that because they might like Miles Bridges, but he's going to have to go off that team for them to win. It's just not the fit that goes along with Melo and the rest of them style of play. I think they'll be perfectly fine with the acquire of what's the guy named number 24, the young baller. He's really nice, and the other guy number 8, I would go with him, and let Charlotte rise up because it's time for Charlotte to win. It's been too long since that city have had a winning team.
And then 24. Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller. Yep, Brandon Miller, number 8, and Bridges will be a great piece to trade in order to go in a new direction and actually get a bigs that could really help them.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. No, I'm not shocked at all. But I do agree with Mace that Charlotte I thought would be doing better. But to answer the question, no. But the team that I do want to give a shout out to, that's finally having a breakout season so far at least, is the Detroit Pistons. Kay Cunningham is out there being the player that we thought that he would be a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And, I definitely want to give a shout out to the Detroit Pistons. Right now, I just was looking that they're the actual 8th seed. They're actually ahead of Atlanta and of fucking Philly. So if the playoffs start today, and I know they would be in the play-in, but if it start today, they would be in the playoffs. I actually feel bad for my nigga Monty, man, because this team looked like soon as he left, they excelled. And I know he was part of the development process of them, trying to get to where they're going now. But the shocker for me in the East is the Detroit Pistons, because we were just talking about how they was trying to give niggas food and all type of shit just to come to games last season. So for them to be 500 right now, salute to those guys.
Yeah, because buying people off with wings is still crazy to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
And it worked, but you could buy people off a lot of food things. So, because even Popeyes is doing some Don Julio thing. I'm like, where did all this come from? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like,
right.
And we finna be there, right in line. That's the problem. Not we, literally, but us. Anyways, moving along. So on the West, at the bottom is the Blazers, the Pelicans, then the Jazz. Mace, are you surprised by this?
The Pelicans who?
Blazers, Pelicans, and the Jazz.
Definitely, I'm not surprised by the Blazers and the Jazz. Even though last night the Blazers beat Milwaukee, it seemed like it was a revenge game. The point guard was on fire for the Blazers, as well as the entire wings and everybody there. It seemed like they just wanted to send a message to Damian Lillard. And whatever's going on with Damian Lillard, I need it to stop now. Even though we're talking about the Blazers, it seemed like Chauncey Billups got them up for that game. It was a Damian Lillard must lose here tonight game. But other than that, I need them to keep that energy all the way through the Western Conference and turn that into some wins. Because right now, like you said, they're at the bottom. The Jazz, I expected them to lose, as well as, what's the other team? The Pelicans? Mm-hmm. The Pelicans, I think, until they decide what's going on with Zion, they're just in a real awkward place. I know today they played Dallas, and that should be a good game, but we still asking, is Zion playing, you know? When Zion is playing, this is a whole different team. When he's consistent, is a playoff team. When he's focused, they could be a real contender if he would just be focused, because he can make all of those other players that much better. He comes with that same energy that Ja comes with, that South Carolina energy, and, you know, turn real lit. And he can make other people play the same way. But when he's undecided, he's in and he's out, pause, he's hot and cold, it doesn't work for the franchise. So I look forward to them getting rid of Zion this summer and moving on to whatever it holds for the Pelicans.
Then really quick, Mace. So Zion versus the Raptors, he had 31.7 rebounds. Versus the Hornets, he had 28 points, 11 rebounds, but they still lost the game. So
what?
I'm saying, like, the Pelicans still lost, even with Zion, you know, putting up.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is consistency. Those are 2 or 3 games. When he's locked in, they beat good teams. I remember one time they was playing against LeBron and them, and it looked like, oh, they could beat the Lakers when he's really locked in. But if he's showing up 3 games, then missing 8, showing up 2 games and then missing 5 games, that's not what I'm speaking of. I'm speaking of when he's totally locked in, he got his weight under control, he's going forward, doing the things that are necessary for him to be the type of talent they paying him to be. That's a different team, because it's nobody that could really stop him when he's really on his diet.
Okay, Cam, thoughts?
Pardon me, I was just looking at something, y'all. Am I surprised about the bottom 3 teams? When Colin Sexton said they was going away, I wanted to give him a drug test. So when he was up here on the show, he said, yo, we going to go all the way. Nice, he's a nice kid, man. He's a nice kid, but I knew he was out his damn mind when the nigga said, nah, we could go all the way. I said, Colin, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Nah, we could do it. Yeah, Colin.
10-35.
Yeah, Colin, he's a super cool nigga. I knew it wasn't brain surgery, nigga. We knew that y'all niggas wasn't gonna be shit. You know, it's crazy, murder. They wasn't. I knew when he said it. I liked his attitude. I knew they wasn't gonna be shit. You know, it was dope though that we don't know a lot because it's Utah. Mm-hmm. Patty Mills is on there. Nigga, Patty's still out here. I like
Patty's still getting a check.
Patty's still grabbing the check. It's crazy.
Patty's staying out the way. Patty in the corner getting 3s.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Patty still getting the check, man. So,
Patty just growing his dreads and shooting 3s.
Yeah, man. But yeah, more of the story is, Colin. Sorry, I didn't have to focus on you. I just remember you were sitting here and you was like, "How far you think you could go?" And nigga said, "All the way. We could do it." I said, this nigga's crazy. As far as the Pelicans, Mace is right. It's the inconsistency of Zion. If Zion is not going to be there, I don't count on the Pelicans to do anything. Look, when it comes to Zion, like Mace was bringing up, I don't know if I think it was last season. They had a real chance to go to the playoffs when they was playing the Lakers. He looked sensational. I think he had 40 points and with a minute left in the final game of the season, he hurt his leg or something. He hurt something. Then they had to play the Lakers again to get in the playoffs out of those 2, and then they lost that game because he couldn't play. Zion's health has been a problem since Duke, and it's got worse since he's been in the NBA. When Zion is healthy, he's a tremendous athlete, strong as shit. They can't handle him down there, pause. But since Mace hit the nail on the head. It's zero inconsistency. Even if you want to trade for Zion, you don't know what you're getting. Is he crying wolf, acting like he's hurt here and there so he can be traded? I have no idea. I don't think he would do that. If he's cheating the game like that, that's fucked up. Like I said on a previous show a few days ago, me and my nigga Bezo, we sitting to prepare our night pause to watch Ja Morant against Zion, and neither one of them are playing. This is the number 1 and number 2 pick of whatever year they went to the draft, and they're not playing. But the next night, they're playing against whatever team they're playing against. So we can't get a Zion against Ja matchup, but we get Zion against whoever and Ja against whoever. But the matchup we want to see, we're not getting. So, like I said, that has me disgusted with the NBA, and I understand if people are injured and they can't play, I dig it. But if you can play on Monday, you could have played on Sunday, is my opinion. So, no, the bottom 3 teams, I'm not surprised outside of, if we don't have a Zion, I'm not really shocked with the Pelicans being there. Portland, that's good for y'all niggas. You know, a lot of times what happens with teams is they say, we want to get rid of this player because they're getting older. We want to move this piece because they're getting older. We got this player, we got that player. They got rid of C.J. McCullough because Simons was doing good. And it's like, yo, we got Simon. We don't even need C.J. McCullough anymore. Then they, what's his name, Scooty Woodfield? Yeah, Scoot. They drafted him. They was like, oh, we got the new C.J. McCullough and Damian Lillard. And he ain't been producing either. Have they been playing good individually? No, but it hasn't been leading in the wins for the organization. So even though you got new younger players, at least with Damian Lillard and C.J. McCullough, whatever y'all got there further to the championship. Now, people you got rid of these 2 veterans for, these young guys are not getting you to the playoffs. Logo Lillard sent niggas home plenty of nights. He just couldn't get over the hump when it came to Steph Curry. We sat there and watched him send Paul George home. We sat there and watched him send Russell Westbrook. Logo Lillard, when it's time, it's time. And one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, he may not be playing up to snuff in Milwaukee, but at least they're still making the fucking playoffs. No, the Trailblazers are not even making the playoffs, so that's what y'all get for rushing niggas out of there. And now you have 2 young players that aren't getting y'all a 500 seed. No disrespect to them, but it is what it is. So I'm not shocked, but it's good for them. It's good for management. It's good for the owners. Rushing niggas out of there thinking that their time is up and the young niggas, it's not their time yet. So, no, I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah, the last couple of games, just so you know, Scoot Henderson has been averaging 25.
Yeah, Murder, he could average maybe 2. They're not winning. That's the point. I'm trying to make he can be making he got a Will Chamberlain sign up 120 games and not winning. That's the point I'm trying to make. So that's why I said I'm not calling them out individually.
Yeah.
And Simons either. I think they're both great players, but whatever they're doing individually is not translating into wins for the organization.
We're going to go to break. When we return, we are joined by a special guest, David Benavides. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog pick of the day. So today, the Knicks will play the Nuggets. Underdog has Jalen Brunson at 7.5 first quarter points with higher lower major. Okay, Jokic is at 12.5 rebounds with higher lower Cam.
Do you see what Jokic is doing this season? This is a real problem. This is a problem.
He might end up getting 6 MVPs.
That's the problem because everything says Shea should get MVP if we stopped it right now. And I would give it to Shea purely because his team is in first place. But if these numbers that Joker keeps putting up, and let's say some type of way that they finish second or third, I don't know. I believe that the Joker is in the top 3 in every category. Well, not every category. Top 3 in scoring, rebounding, and assists. He's a center, and he's second in assists in grand scoring. That's what man is big. I think he's having one of the best seasons that he's had prior to all the other MVPs that he had. But Shea is just looking so spectacular. And he's keeping OKC as the #1 seed without Chet. This is going to be a real hard decision towards the end of the season. Like I said, we got a lot of basketball left before the playoffs, maybe about 2.5 months. But God damn, higher. Plays around 12, averaging 12, but fuck it. And if you see the shit when he threw a 66-yard, like he was 60, so I sound like a football, 66-foot shot the other day, like it was a baseball. It was averaging a triple-double. 30 or less minutes. Crazy. I'm gonna hide shot. Joe?
Higher. And matter of fact, the first one, I'm gonna go low.
Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson, yeah.
Okay, and then Russell Westbrook at 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And higher.
For the killer bird.
Russell Westbrook is
He
actually
balling.
really good in Denver, to be honest with you. And then, Jamal Murray missed some time as well. They kept him in the line, He's looking real good. I mean, he looks way better with these guys than he did with the Clippers and the Lakers. It looks like it's a great fit for him.
Are you going higher or lower for that?
I mean, listen, the people want some substance behind that thing, so I'm trying to give them a little substance before I actually make the pick. So that's that's a tough call because Jamal Murray's been balling as well. He's back in his bag. It looks like Westbrook is picking up some of the slack from Jamal Murray. 24 total with everything. I'm gonna go high.
I'm going lower.
Okay, if you guys like these picks, remember you always get a free pick if you're not already an underdog, so make sure to support the show, sign up now, and you can make your picks too. Today, we are joined by David Benavidez. He's the 3-time WBC champ at super middleweight, and his anticipated fight is this weekend against Morrell in Vegas. Benavidez, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing, man? Everything all right?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm very excited. We got a big fight this Saturday. It's going to be good pay-per-view. I've been training extremely hard for this fight, and, we're ready to get the people a good fight.
That's what's up, man. We're going to get into that fight in a minute because it's going to be a goodie. I see you guys going back and forth, but I have some personal questions before we get into it. And I know Sin, our special boxing analyst, has a lot of questions as well as Mace. What the fuck? Why is Canelo running from you and going down to fight Tucker? What the fuck is the problem? I see you be mean to Canelo. I see you be nice to Canelo. I see everything in your possible capability to try and get this fight. And I see you give answers on different occasions, but it hasn't been on it is what it is. Is he scared? What is your personal opinion? And like I said, I'm not skipping over the fight you have, but I just need to know personally what the fuck is going on. Why is he not fit?
To be honest with you, I feel like Canelo definitely is W. And he knows that when I get in the ring with him, that all his glory will come with me. All his belts, everything. And he definitely knows I'm the most dangerous guy in the weight class, and that's why he keeps avoiding me. Obviously, when it comes to money, Canelo is a cash cow. But if you would fight me, he'd make the biggest check that he'd make out of anybody's fight. You see him fight Edgar Berlanga, you see him fight Caleb Plant. You see him fight all these other guys, but all these other guys aren't at the level that I'm at. So that's why I know for a fact that Canelo's ducking me. Because I never duck nobody. I don't run from anybody. And I know in my heart that I can beat anybody that they put in front of me. But Canelo, he's not 100% confident in himself, and that's why he hasn't taken this fight. Sorry.
Do you think there's any way that shout out, what's up, Benavidez? Do you think there's any way that Canelo could beat you at all? You just think there's a 100% chance you win?
In boxing, man, you can't go into any fights like that. You can't think, oh man, this guy's gonna beat me, or this guy's better than this and that. I've been putting in work since I was 3 years old. I'm 28 years old right now. I have 25 years boxing. I've been professional for half my life. I turned professional when I was 15 years old. So I'm 100% ready. I'm 100% ready for whoever, whenever. That's why I can climb out these big guys. I've been champion 4 times at the super middle, 3 times at the super middleweight division. I came up to chase greatness because I knew that a fight with Canelo was never going to happen. So now, after this fight, I'm in line to fight for all the titles at 175 weight pound, the weight class. So I'm ready for whoever, man. And that's why I've been calling for this fight with Canelo, because I know I could definitely beat him. And if Canelo thought otherwise, then he should just come shut me up and beat me in front of everybody and make a big bag too, because everybody's waiting for this fight to happen, and this is the biggest fight in boxing. So he might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm in here talking shit every time I do an interview. I'm telling everybody how I can knock Canelo out, how I can beat Canelo. So why doesn't he just come beat me and shut me up? It's that simple, it's that easy. But the reason he doesn't do that is because he's not confident in himself. He knows he can't beat me.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, where did you get the name Mexican Monster from? Where does that derive from?
So we were doing a podcast with Mike Tyson, and then Mike Tyson, and midway through the podcast, he's like, you know what? I think you're a Mexican monster. And, I think it was just cool, getting a nickname from a living legend like Mike Tyson. It was just dope. So we just stayed with the nickname, and then it, it just stuck. The people loved it, and that's how I got the nickname Mexican Monster.
Yeah, real quick, Murder. Now I like that confidence shit, my nigga. I love that shit. And you talking that shit that I want to hear when it pertains to Canelo. Like I said, we're not skipping your fight, or we have a bunch of questions about the fight coming up.
On with the work.
But we had Edgar Berlingo on this show, and he was talking that same shit, man. The same exact shit that you talking about when it came to Canelo. He was actually a little worse talking shit when it came to Canelo. And everybody has to promote. I get that. I thought he was going to put on a better performance than he actually put on, because Mace, let me ask you, when Edgar was up here talking about Canelo, did you believe any of it, or was you like, I ain't jacking that? What was your opinion about that before I get Dave's opinion?
I thought he was 40%.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought the nigga was like, because you know what it is? I expect, even if he lost, I expected more.
Yeah.
The output was was terrible. What do you think about somebody like Edgar Berlingo when he fought Canelo? What was your opinion of that fight?
I mean, to be honest with you, my stance on that with Edgar Berlingo, if you look at Edgar Berlingo's track record, he's never became champion, not once. I was the youngest super middleweight champion in history. I won the belt at 20 years old, and I don't think nobody would ever beat that record. I came back and I won the belt at 22 years old, again in the same weight class. I was 3-time champion in that weight class. Now, interim WBC light heavyweight champion. So, the levels in the fighters are just way different. If you look at my track records, I've beat way better fighters that Edgar Berlingo has beat. No disrespect to Edgar Berlingo, but I don't think he's at that level. Edgar Berlingo talks a big game, but once he got into the fight, he didn't really do shit. To be honest with you, he just, he survived for 12 rounds, but for me, I don't think that's nothing to be happy about. He was super happy after the fight, but that was a trash-ass performance, in my opinion. I didn't really think he did nothing. But as me and Edgar Berlingo, we're on 2 different levels. I'm a completely different animal than him.
Edgar is Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah, they threw a parade for him after the fight. Actually, after the fight, he survived 12 rounds. Sin thought that was cool that he had a parade. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Edgar.
Before I let Sin ask a couple questions, your last fight, you moved up, and me personally, when I watched the fight, I thought you put on a great performance. But you didn't look as strong as you did in super middleweight after moving up. Do you think that your strength, well, I know, and we know that you're a bigger guy that lost weight to come down. We all know at least I know your story. I used in the 200s, came down to be a super middleweight champion. But when you moved up in your last fight, you didn't look as strong as you did super middleweight. What do you pertain to that? What is your answer for?
Yes, so, I mean, there was good reason for that. A month before the fight, I had torn the tendon right here. And then 2 weeks before that, I had fractured, my left knuckle. and then I got, you know, a cut underneath my eye, 10 stitches. So I had a lot of things going on before the fight, you know, and like I said, but at the end of the day, I'm a man. You know, I still took the fight on. You know, even with a lot of injuries, there would have been a lot of people that would have not even went to the fight. You know, especially having 2 injured hands. But like I said, I took the challenge. I went in there, and it was a good fight. You know, obviously it wasn't like how I wanted it to be, but you know, when you have 2 injured hands, you can only do so much. You know, so I was basically handicapped that fight. I couldn't work any strength and conditioning or nothing. But for this fight, you know, we're 100%, you know, better. We're 100% healthier, and you know, I feel good. You know what I mean? I think this fight's gonna definitely show, you know, a different David Benavidez. You know, my hands are 100% healthy, and you know, I'm 100% good for this fight. So it's gonna be a different performance.
Sid? Yeah. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Listen, the people appreciate you taking this fight, man. Because a lot of people don't want to fight David Morale, and we think it's dope that you taking this fight. Even though, you know, it's low risk. I mean, high risk, low reward, as they say, but because I don't think he has the belt. But we appreciate you taking this fight. But let me ask you a question. Him throwing the belt at you, did that cross the line? Because I see your persona is kind of different now, like a little meaner, kind of like your brother. Like just a little meaner. Was that throwing the belt at you cross the line?
I need more help.
It seems like you might watch.
What kind of Wi-Fi you got?
No, it wasn't good. It wasn't. They come on. If you want.
Gotta see it.
Would you want to know if you want?
Sam, thank
Hey,
you.
you go.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, so let's actually get into the King. It was reported they're open to trading De'Aaron Fox ahead of the NBA trade deadline. According to multiple sources, if he leaves the Kings via trade, his preferred landing spot is the Spurs. What do you think about that if we were to go to the Spurs? And what do you think about them even being open to trading him?
Which one are we talking about?
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox. Him on... actually see De'Aaron Fox on the Spurs. I could actually see that. You know, I prefer him be there than trade for Halliburton than put him in Indiana. I would much rather be with a 7'4" wingman playing point guard or pick and roll between Fox and Windmill. And if you think about adding Fox with Chris Paul, and that turns into a really exciting team. Even though we're looking at an elder man when it comes to Chris Paul, I think if you put Fox on that team, they turn into something special really fast. Really fast. So I would really look for that and shoot for that. If I was De'Aaron Fox, I would be doing my best to be nice to Sacramento to make this trade happen, because this is one of those type of trades, if it was to happen, it'll change his whole legacy. There'll definitely be a championship in the future if you put Fox with Wemby and they look forward to getting another piece. They'll be really strong.
You know who's running this shit, man. Pardon me, you know who's running this shit, man.
Rich Paul?
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Nigga
You can have all your wishes.
As soon as he are in front of get the clutch, all of a sudden, shit starts shaking and moving. Pause. I'm gonna read a quote. I ain't speak to Rich about this. I haven't spoke to him. Rich Paul actually, this nigga, what kind of nigga is you, Rich? You some other type of nigga. Rich Paul is like the mafia of the NBA or football or just sport. He's like the mafia, the guy. I don't really know what title he can simply air. This nigga is crazy, bro. Who the fuck you be talking to like you in the streets, bro? This nigga,
Yeah, the concierge.
There's a consigliere. No, yo, I'm gonna read a quote from Rich. This nigga says, "This is how they presented it. Actually, De'Aaron Fox agent Rich Paul of Clutch Sports recently sent word that it would be wise for the Kings to move him now." What the fuck you mean to be wise? I would be like, yo, who the fuck is you talking to, man? But then nigga shrugged his shoulder. I said what I said. I said what I said. It'd be wise. That's your best bet. And Rich Paul is almost like the black Santa Claus for these players, man. He get you what you want.
Get you out of there.
Get you out of there. Not only get you out of there, get you the money, get you the bells and whistles on top of the money that you put. Yo, you my nigga, man. Rich Paul is my nigga, man. Look, man, we'll see what happens. But for a nigga to tell a nigga that it'd be wise, man, and turn his back. It's crazy.
And don't even explain it.
Yeah,
that's when you know.
And don't.
I said.
Yeah, I said what I said, man.
Yeah.
And then call in the morning. So what y'all gonna do? Look, we'll see what happens, man. I don't know what. I didn't. That's why Rich Paul is Rich Paul, because we were looking at De'Aaron Fox as like he was going to be the franchise player for Sacramento. It didn't look like he was about to go anywhere anytime soon. Looks different, and
same thing happened with Anthony Davis. Looked like he was gonna be the franchise.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, he don't play fourth quarters no more. I remember before he got traded to the Lakers, nigga said, I don't really do the fourth. He stopped playing. Yo, Anthony Davis stopped playing fourth quarters when he was in with the Pelicans. So we'll see what happens. It's crazy. Shout out to Krista. We have to bring her back for NBA season 2. Trista Parr, I said Krista. But I actually seen on her page that, and I don't know how accurate it is, but she's a great source. And like I said, she worked with us last year. But they was talking about, what you think about this murder? De'Aaron Fox for Tyrese Halliburton.
I was just alluding to that because I could see them doing that. I really, really prefer that De'Aaron Fox goes to the Spurs, but light-skinned niggas do well at Sacramento,
Yeah.
Matt Barnes, Christie. Yeah.
I dig it.
Light-skinned niggas turn up in Sacramento.
Chris Webber, a little dark though. Chris Webber.
He could be light-skinned sometimes. Nah, shout out to Webb.
Yeah. But I don't know how true it is, but like I said, I just got the information from my page. But if that was true, and like I said, it's not factual yet, I'd be pissed the fuck off if I was Tyrese Halliburton, because he looked like one of them players also that wasn't about to even leave Indiana. Not only not leave Indiana, they got to the conference finals last year, which they lost to Boston. Not only that, he's an Olympian. Whether he got burned or not, he actually made the Olympic team.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought that's one of them shits where you start looking for houses permanently.
Yeah.
He got his snow buddy community lined up.
Indiana is great for that.
Yeah, he got them lined up. Seems like he's pretty set up and solidified.
Answered by fear.
Got you.